Hi Virgo, welcome to August. Happy early birthday. For those of you whose birthday is in late August, it's almost your season and we can already feel it with Venus shifting into Virgo and Mars soon come. And we need your sensibility. We need to remember that actions speak louder than words, and right now we're really getting the confidence that we need to live into our greatness, and you will help us cultivate that. But right now, let's see what the sun in Leo is doing for you. What's being purified for you, what's being elevated for you, what is and how are you centering yourself without it relating to others, and also how are others showing up for you. Are you noticing? Ooh, I asked that question and like my heart and my chest just got tight. Not even because you're not allowing people to show up for you, but it feels like you're realizing that that's not a thing. And where it is happening, it's impacting you so greatly. Like when you stop to think about, oh wow, like this person really loves me or whatever. And it's just like the places where you've been in pain around lack of reciprocity, lack of trust, lack of belief in love. The love is starting to get into the hard places, into the tender places, if you let it. If you let it. Just feeling a clearing happening here on the left side of the body. Let me get the and I'm recording this under the full moon in Aquarius, so there's a lot of healing energy, a lot of liberation and detachment and releasing from old stories, right? So I feel that happening for you here. So breathe into this part of your body. Your strength is slow and steady. Make sure no other cards fell out. Let's get your challenge for the month. We'll get this clearing. And it's interesting, they're even holding their chest in the same area. Is it pink? Is it learn to love again or live again? I think it's live. Learn to live again. Yeah. Home is the challenge in coming apart. It's the bottom of the deck. Who was home that isn't anymore? Who are you realizing is home? And how are you inviting them and welcoming them in? Where are these walls around your heart? How do you make them doors? And how do you integrate the lessons from the coming apart so that you can emerge into a whole being, an integrated being, and call back the parts of yourself that were hurting, or you were pretending that they weren't as hurt by the coming apart? How do you hold those parts tender as you emerge into this version of yourself? Ooh, let that clear. Just Taking deep breaths, Virgo. The intention of healing your body and releasing like the pain of heartbreak. And pain, a lot of this doesn't even feel like pain. It feels like not letting love in and the pain that caused you as well. These core wounds, okay? Spirit is saying that, and speaking directly to core woundings of the inner child. There's something about when you are presented with opportunities to belong. I mean, we're all different and you're supposed to be unique. But when you belong to someone, or we don't belong to, we belong to each other, but when you felt that sense of belonging and home, and for whatever reason it was taken away from you, or it wasn't held on to, or so there was some type of massive separation, then this happened, this stone or this mask or this facade, and it was all to mask or hide the pain. And so now something is happening, something is healing, and you're having to emerge as a more authentic version of yourself. But it feels like you don't really know what your baseline is or what your truth is anymore because you were wearing the mask for so long. So, and a lot of it is coping, but some of it is like really not wanting to be seen. Because the last time you allowed yourself to be seen, to be vulnerable, to be in a relationship, or to be that intimate, you experienced pain. And so now there's been like this massive effort to make things permanent, right? Like this permanence. And there's been a lot of building or making permanent what was not authentic, what was not nourishing. So it's feeling like a fortress and not a home. So it's like, oh, it's safe, but is it really, if it's rigid and not rigid, but we've used this analogy before, I believe, with you, but it's coming up different. Basically, like how bricks, like you build a home, but then like what actually goes into it is like the insulation, the decoration, the love, the memories, the creativity. And what you've been doing is like using cinder blocks to build your life, and that actually now has to be taken down so that you can rebuild something that's actually something you want to live in, not something that's just predictable and you know it's gonna be there. No, this is like you get to build a life that you love, and that's really, really scary because there's so many possibilities, and which means you will have to embrace the possibility of hurting again, because that's life and you can't control whether or not you're gonna ever hurt again. You just have to love. That's the only way. I feel the energy moving. So I think we can move on to the book. Y'all good? Just keep breathing. Remember the old cliche, slow and steady wins the race? This is a time for easy movement, unhurried step, and a steady heart. Trust that taking life at a more leisurely pace will give you greater access to your dreams. Slowing down allows more contact with the juicier elements of your life. Savor them. 27. If you don't feel at home, it's time to do a thorough and fearless inventory. What are you hiding from? Are you afraid of being yourself? Do you feel that you don't belong where you are? What if you chose another path? Does your understanding of home dictate that such a place must be unsafe, unstable, or unfulfilling? It's time to love yourself and create a new sense of safety and security within. You might have chosen a situation that is familiar and led you back to the original source of your pain. No matter, because this is an important and powerful invitation to a new you. Say no to the pain of the past. Say no to the voice of your inner critic. No to those who want to dim your light to make themselves brighter. Choose a new home. Take refuge in knowing that beauty and a true sense of belonging lie ahead. And I think that's what this coming apart is saying, is like, don't do what you did before, because it's clearly mirrored, right? It's like a parallel path as well. It's like a choice point. We'll get into it as we get further into your reading, but for those of you who aren't coming into the sanctuary, which is our private membership space for communion with yourself and soul family, where you get access to all 12 of these messages in their entirety. We look at career, we look at relationships of all kinds, community, and then we look at what's going on in the mind and the heart space and in the spiritual realms. I want to get you, those of you who aren't coming along to the deeper message, a sense of finality or a sense of closure, because it feels like there is something missing. So just give me a second. And I think it is to read what home should feel like. Peace, security, safety, belonging, and all the features one would want from the home or from home are indicated now. And I think you don't believe it. Like, I don't think you believe it. Home represents an invitation to experience what it's like to be secure in your own skin, to live comfortably no matter what is happening in the world around you. It is a time for opening your eyes up to your community of like-minded people or one special person who makes you feel like you've come home. Home is love, and love is all around you now. Whatever your inquiry, you are where you're meant to be, and will reap the great benefits of staying on this path regardless of where it leads. Home will always be with you. Home is where the heart is, but you got to be connected to your heart. Okay, bye.